Welcome to the wine team. Whether you're on my team or another person's team within One Hope, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. And the more of us that are here, the more impact that we get to make. So that I think is the big difference between One Hope and a lot of other wineries, definitely between your normal wineries and buying wine at a grocery store or wine at a liquor store, which yes, it is really convenient to do that. But through us at One Hope and us as cause entrepreneurs, we help you. And what we do is we help our customers give back to causes of their choice with their wine purchases. So as a new cause entrepreneur, that's what you want to share. That's what you want to let people know. One, you want to let them know that you joined this philanthropic wine company. We are a Napa Valley wine company. We do have a winery in Napa. People can go there for tastings, but they can also have you provide a wine tasting in their home for their friends or family, coworkers, whoever they want, and give back to a local cause. So 10% of purchases go back to that local cause that the host chooses. Also, as a cause entrepreneur, you get to host wine tastings on your own. You can open on a link. You can open a link and share that link to start fundraising. And that's what I really suggest that everybody does when you join the wine team. Model what it is that you want other people to do, because then that way it starts the movement. It gets in people's heads and their ideas start spinning. I was like, oh, you know what? I could do a fundraiser for my kids' school. I could do a fundraiser for the Girl Scout troop. There's a Rotary Club. There's a women's shelter. There's a pet shelter. There's all these needs that are out there that can be fulfilled with wine. And the great thing is that we give back 10% to the purchaser's cause of choice. Through an event link, a hostess or host is able to receive back 10% in wine rewards. So even if you're a nonprofit and you're watching this and you have that specific event link, then you can use that wine that you're going to earn from your constituents' purchases for future raffles, giveaways, wine tastings, all that kind of stuff. So there's lots of layers in it. And if you want specific information or you want to reach out to me, please feel free to do so. I am at Wine with Tracy, Tracy with an I on Instagram. I am Wine with Tracy at Gmail, and I will drop my information below this as well. So in order to get started, let's start at the beginning. So you're a cause entrepreneur and you just signed up and you're like, what do I do now? Well, one, your wine kit's going to be coming to you. Two, you're going to be receiving text messages and emails from the corporate office that kind of keep you on track because you got to get going. We all know that if we don't do something right away, then we're just going to be like, okay, well, I haven't done that, so I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. That doesn't work. Does not work. So within your first 14 days as a cause entrepreneur, you have a really great opportunity to set up an event, reach out to friends and family, let them know that you have joined a wine company, let them know that you have some, take a little quiz. You can see like what their wine personalities are and then suggest some wine for them. Now you're probably like, I don't even know what the wine is like, Tracy. How am I going to suggest wine? Here's the good thing. We have award-winning wine. All of our Vintner collection, literally, that's where I start everybody at. It is really good. I did a wine tasting the other night and people were like, wow, this Cabernet is amazing. I had no idea. Like, they're like, it's not big and bold. And it's like, I don't need to have it with like a big meal, but it is nice. It has a perfect balance for a Cabernet. It's something that you can drink every day. So I highly recommend just starting with the Vintner collection because that is like perfectly balanced wine for almost every palate. And it's not, too like for people that are into wine, it's not like the Cabernets are not too tannicky. The Pinot Noirs are not super earthy and dirty. It's literally like the best place. And our Chardonnay is literally like a showstopper. It's 94 points. Plus, people are like super impressed. The other night, I had a bunch of women that were like, oh my God, this is the best Chardonnay and the best sparkling that they've ever had. And they dropped some names of some big brand wine companies. And they're like, I'm just going to buy yours. And I'm like, all right, that's great. Let's set that up for a subscription and put that on repeat so you can get this every month. So there's a lot of different opportunities. So I just want to go and share my screen with you because as a cause entrepreneur, you are going to get access to your CE dashboard. So your CE dashboard this is where all your magic happens as a cause entrepreneur. This is where it'll say your name, your rank. This is your specific One Hope website that you can share with people. So this little button means you can click the link and now it's copied. So now you can copy and paste it. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll see that there's some updates. These are called playbook cards. There is an iOS app that you can download so you can get the playbook cards as well, which is really easy to do and send information from your phone or an iPad. Android version is probably coming soon, but they both run on different operating systems, so it's not like they could do one and done. Back to this middle section of your CE dashboard. This tells you what your current personal commissionable volume is. Anything from $0 to $1,499, you get paid 20% commission on this number. When it hits over $1,500, then you get paid 25% commission, and that's retro back to the first of the month. The OV is if you have a team. This is what your team is doing and what your overall volume is for your team right now. This talks about your impact, what is going on for all causes this month, last week. And down here at the bottom is definitely a place that you want to keep checking into. So this talks about our vacation incentive that's happening right now, or whatever incentive might be pinned up here and featured at the top. There's a lot of new training information. So if you are a new cause entrepreneur, jump onto the trainings with the corporate office. That's what they're there for. Us who are assigned or who you sign up under are your mentors or your sponsors, and we are here to help you as well. But there is literally this whole back area that is filled with information for you to poke around it. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of information. You can't build Rome in one day. It was taken more than 7 days to even build the city of Rome. So remember, you just have to do little sections at a time. Do what you need to do to get to your next step, and then you can add on the next building block to that, okay? And we have things lined out for you really well in this back section. So again, that's part of getting started with your new CE getting started calls, and make a conversation with your mentor. If your mentor is not me, if it's somebody else on the team, connect with them. Also, most of the teams have team Facebook groups. Join the Facebook group and lean into those Facebook groups. Really, the only way to grow and to know what's going on is when you lean in, because that way you are up to date with all the information. So there's some trainings coming around. You can look through this calendar to see what is going on. We do work on a calendar month, so everything is done monthly. When you are in Fast Start, there's some other flexible days that are going on, but we'll show you that in a minute too and how you can track that. Now, over here on the left-hand side, there is a lot of information too. So the calendar and events is equal to what this is. We'll just highlight some of these. Contacts, that'll be once you start getting contacts. You can upload contacts into your back office if you want. And when you start getting customers, they will be in your contact list back here. I'm not clicking on it just because of privacy issues, because it will show you their name, their phone number, and email address. So I don't want to have that there. Reach outs. This is where you can start reaching out. Now, this is new. So this just launched. So One Hope Tech Team is fantastic, and they keep on improving what we have available for us in our back office and in the iOS app in order to make us current and relevant and give you information that you can send out to your customers. So there's a lot of different information on here. You can see like the Spring Wine Club and pairings. Oh, look, so this ends on 4:30 at 11:59. So it kind of lets you know when the recipes and the information in that section is expiring as well. But you can share this on Facebook, LinkedIn. You can save the assets, so then you can put them on Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want to do with it. You can copy the link so people are there. And then it says view your results. I have not sent this out to anybody, so I wouldn't have any results. But if you do, what a great way to see what it is that's resonating with your audience and where it's at. Analytics are all about that. It's probably something none of us wanted to talk about when we were in school, like statistics, how boring is that? But actually the statistics are what make your business grow. So you got to kind of pay attention to some of that, especially when it comes to social media, because everybody's like, oh, I posted it on social media, but nobody liked it. Well, social media in itself is a whole other ball game. So we'll talk about that at a later date, but you can't just post and pray. You have to have intriguing posts, good captions, all that kind of stuff going on. So back over here to the left-hand side, we're going to go down to the events section. So this is where, when you're starting out as a cause entrepreneur, this is where you create your new event, whether it's yourself or for your hostess. I highly recommend that you create one for yourself, but then not under the CE ID email that you use to be a cause entrepreneur. I'm sure you probably have one or more CE or one or more email addresses. Use that email address and put together a test event so you can see what happens when you're the host and what the host receives versus what you receive as the cause entrepreneur. So that's kind of like my first go-to if you have that opportunity, just because it helps you to know, oh, this is what my host will receive, and they have literally all the information right there. But if you're just jumping in and you have an event that's coming up this weekend and you're like, I need to buy some wine, I need to get an event link so I can share with people, this is what you do. You come to the event section and you go to create an event. Will there be a wine tasting? Yes or no? The difference in this, and you'll see in a little bit when we walk through this. So if we say yes, who is hosting, a contact, a nonprofit, or I am hosting, there are different variables when a contact, a nonprofit, or you are hosting. I'm going to say I am hosting because a lot of you will start off hosting right away. And then you have to put in the nonprofit that you're searching for. For lack of time, I'm just going to put in ladies of, oops. I'm just going to say I'm doing this for Ladies of the Dukes. I have no idea what this organization is. If you're watching this, Ladies of the Dukes, let's fundraise. And then you can customize your title for this event. So we're going to say ladies, let's say they have a spring event. So we're just going to title it that. You can title it whatever you want. Is this person located in person, or event in person or virtual? In person. Then you have to find the location though. If it's virtual, you won't need a location for that. But only if it's in person are you able then to add wine to the list. So you're going to find your location. I have no idea what this street address is. I just literally picked one. Event date. So you can pick the calendar. You can see you can put these out for a while. Event date, we're going to say that this one is going to be April 22nd. That's my birthday. So we're going to say April 22nd. That's a good day to party. We're just going to say it's at 12 because we don't know. If you have a message from your host, it's great to put this here. Why are they fundraising? What will the impact be? And then I also recommend, as a cause entrepreneur, you put your contact information in here. So you can say fundraising to support local food bank. Every case will donate 50 meals. So you're probably wondering, how do I know this? Well, one, I don't. I'm kind of making this up right now. But what I like to really share with anybody who's hosting a fundraiser for anything is to contact the nonprofit and see what exactly is the impact that is made. So for instance, we give back 10% of any sales. So a case of wine, a case of Vintner Collection wine is approximately $240. That's $24 that's given back. When you look and see, oh, what will $24 provide through that foundation, through that nonprofit, then you can link it together and be like, oh, people don't always like to hear about a dollar amount, but they like to hear about the impact that is going to be made with that dollar amount. So And again, it's on everyday purchases. So people are already purchasing wine, they're already purchasing jewelry, they're already purchasing shoes. So that's why when there's a give back, it just makes it that much more impactful because it's on an everyday item that they're already going to buy. So why would they not buy it through this avenue? So put in your fundraising to support. Sorry, my keyboard is sticking too on the whatever's typed on the left-hand side. Sometimes my letters stick, so I apologize. We'll donate 50 meals. And then it's a for ordering assistance, contact, I'll say Tracy Cox. And then I'll put my information on there too, so you can see it. And my phone number, etc. There's also different possibilities that'll happen. So a lot of times I also put for any customization options, please contact Tracy as well. Check memo. This is what you'll write on why this check is being sent to the nonprofit. So when the nonprofit receives the check, whether it be the Lady Dukes Club of Pennsylvania, you're going to want to write on here check memo. It could be because Sally Joe hosted a wine tasting, or it could be, let's say you're doing a race or a run, and you're sending it to the local American Cancer Society office. And in the check memo, you need to write it. Please apply this to the Care Better team. Also, that team or that individual runner should also let the office know that something's being sent from One Hope Wine. On that side note too, checks are sent the month after the event is closed. So if you close this event in April, the check is sent in May. I also like to say, close it by the day before the last day of the month. Try to wrap up everything that you need to do, hit all your goals, hit all your orders, and close it out that last day of the month. That way, anything that happens after that last day of the month or where you're going for, it's already happened. It's just icing on top of the cake. Going back to the event page, allow event page to show recent supporters. You can turn this on or you can turn this off. If you turn this on, it'll list the names of the people that supported. Sometimes organizations like that, sometimes they don't. So then we're going to click next. Now here you can upload a picture. So if you have a picture that you want to upload, or if you just want to use this one, that is totally fine. If you have somebody's logo, you can click upload. You can find a photo. Let's say it was this one say they were doing something for pet adoptions. You can click and upload a photo on here. Say done, and then say next. And then if you need to order wine, this is where you can order wine at. So if you as a cause entrepreneur has a free event kit available, it'll let you know that you have a free event kit available. So if you just joined and you bought the larger kit, you should have an event kit available and you can apply that to this order. If you don't and you earn them along the way, there's lots of different opportunities to earn them. So you can earn them along the way and you just will be able to apply it. If not, I always say wine is not needed, even when it's a host or even when I'm hosting. Here's why. Yes, on this page, you can buy 6 bottles of wine for $99. However, those same 6 bottles, that's the Vintner collection. Those same 6 bottles are in the Vintner collection, that would be $135 plus $15 shipping when you purchase it through your event link. The reason you want to purchase it or have your host purchase it through the event link is, one, that starts their fundraising. So of that $135, $13.50 goes towards their event, their cause of choice. Also, that $135 starts to count them towards their host rewards. Once the host reaches $500 in host rewards, they earn back 10% of host rewards on their event. So they want to hit $500. That's the minimum goal for the host. Actually, that's the goal that starts the fundraising for the host. So $500 is kind of the minimum, which is like 4 half cases of wine, 2 full cases of wine, maybe with a glitter or something thrown in there. And again, that's a good thing when you're hosting too, is to break down what the host needs to get there and also what the impact is. So if the host wants to do an impact of $100, well, how many cases is going to get us there? Like 4 cases of wine would get us there, or like 6 half cases of wine would get us there. So you just have to do the math. Math is not my strong suit, so I hear you on that. But when you do wine math and impact math, it makes a big difference in everything that you do, and it helps you get to your goals faster. So another reason that you don't want people to purchase this wine: 1, host rewards; 2, it starts your fundraising; 3, with every purchase that an individual makes, including your host, they also earn their own personal wine rewards. So there's wine rewards on top of that. The 4th thing is that we don't make commission off this wine. Just gonna be honest. You're here to make an impact, but you're also here to make money. You don't make commission if somebody buys this $99 of wine or this $198, because it's already discounted. Well, your guests, your hosts are also going to get a discount. So it's, they get a discount of 5% off 4 bottles, 10% off 6 bottles, and 20% off 12 bottles of wine. So they're getting a discount on that flip side of it too. Plus there's all those 3 other things: the host rewards, the impact, and personal wine rewards that they're going to get, that they also don't get when this starts. So it doesn't matter. Now, if you want to go back in at the end and say, hey, you know what? You had a kick-ass party and you sold over $2,000 worth of stuff. I'm going to let you buy a case of wine for $198. Then by all means, let them do that. Do it as a reward if you want on the flip side, but I highly recommend don't do it on the front side, because when you explain it to hosts too, they also understand. They're like, oh, okay, I guess that makes a lot of sense. So, and then you can say book event. When you book event, it'll take you to, you're still in your back office under events. So this is what it will look like. You can copy this link. Any place there's a little pencil, you're able to edit the information. So let's say you're like, oh, the order period is only 7 days. I wanted it longer. Well, you can change that, because you can change the ordering, the time. What's happening with an event, anytime that there's an event. So let's go down here to event orders and order period. From the date of the event, you really only want to give, especially if it's an in-person wine tasting or an in-home event, you only want to give about 7 days after that event, because if people aren't going to buy at the event or the day after, they're probably not going to buy. Okay. And that's where you also have to enroll your host and do some host coaching to say, like, hey, you're having this event. These are your friends coming to this event. You need to make sure that you are letting them know from the get-go that it's a fundraiser. What your goal is, if you have a goal. Yes, it's fun to have just a wine tasting event where people are coming, but at the end of the day, it is going to serve a purpose. So we need to do that. And then the host needs to communicate with their guests to also say, will you be purchasing? Yes or no? Now, another big question that happens at a party is 10 people are there. They're all like, I want to buy 1 bottle of wine. And they all go in on 1 case of wine together. Happens. Try not to, though. So that's why your positioning in the front is to say, hey, this is what our goal is. If each person is going to buy a half a case of wine, if you position it as a half a case of wine, it's like about $150, which is normally what people spend at a party. They will do that. And then there's other ways to talk about host coaching and talking about how to present the information that we'll go into in a later video, but that's just a little top line information for you. So when event orders are in, there's a certain amount of time. So now it's set for 7 days. So the event is happening on 4/22 and they have till 4/30. I think you're able to change this date, but again, they just updated our system. Because if a host needs to reschedule or anything like that, you should be able to change it. This also gives you the summary of, is this host qualified for host rewards and who it's redeemable by. It's only redeemable by the person's email address that's put in here. You should be able to change this when you go back in up here and you go back into wine details, because that should give you that information. Oh, actually up here under details, it'll tell you right here. You can go in and change the information up here. So let's say you set it up for yourself because you're like, oh, I thought I was going to host the event. Then your friend's going to host the event. So you can just go in and be like, all right, contact, add them into the information, and then it sends them information. The rest of the information up here, you can just click on it. You can see the nonprofit. And then when there is event orders, you can see event orders. I also recommend when you are entering orders that you can use the link. And for those of you that are, I use Google Chrome because I just find it the easiest thing. When you go in Google Chrome, there is under file, I don't know if you can see this, file, new tab, new incognito window. Use an incognito window or a private browser when you're putting in someone's order. And the reason that you're going to do that is then it does not hold their information in your computer. And then with each new order, you can close out that tab, open a new one, copy and paste the link, and then enter their order through there. Even if you're in person, I either take my iPad or my computer. I prefer my computer because it has a keyboard and my iPad keyboard is broken. But then that way people can place their orders and I just hand it to them and they just type in their information. And again, in an incognito browser, because then that way, especially if they're first-time customers, because then that way I don't have it. I'm not keeping any of their information. People are concerned with that, and rightfully so. So I don't have any of their information. I do also use the paper order forms that we have available. And if I'm at a home party, I still have people fill those order forms out and then just come sit with me and we'll just do it on the computer. And sometimes if they're here and they're ordering 4 bottles of wine, but I'm like, you have 4 bottles of the same wine. Why don't we bump it up to 6? You're going to get a bigger discount. You're still paying the same in shipping, but you're going to get 2 more bottles of wine and kind of walk through it. So it's kind of like once you know some of your information too, you can upsell a little bit easier on that side of things too. But let's say you're going to share this link. So you can go to the event page, you can copy the URL, or you can view event page. So from here, we're going to view our event page, and this is what it would look like. So I'm logged in as me. So this is me as a cause entrepreneur. I already have 12 bottles of wine in my cart because I was doing an order for somebody. And that's what I do too. Like if somebody wants to know how much this wine's going to be, I just add things to my cart and look at what the price is going to be and share with them. It's pretty easy to do. But when you share this link, which is up here in this URL bar as well, it's onehopewine.com/event/ and then the event ID number. That will be what you would send to the host, what you can share on social if you're the host, any of that information, that's what it is that links directly to this event. And you can see all the details right here. And I highly recommend that you just read through all of the information that's on the website. This is the information that consumers see, that your guests will see, whether it's an event page or it's just the regular onehopewine.com page. This is literally where all your information is. Like, don't overcomplicate it. Don't try to make things more complicated than they need to be. Even if you don't know a wine profile or tasting of a wine, when you go in here and you click wine types, let's look at what our red wine is. So now we're on the onehopewine.com page. We're still under this event. You can tell here at the top, we're still supporting whatever we're supporting right here. Well, I'm logged in as me, so that's why it's showing us that. But let's say you want to find out more about this wine. The wine information is right here too. And they just added this great little savings section here too. So even if somebody pops in and they're like, oh, 12 bottles, I can add 12 to this. Just know these are any bottles. It doesn't have to be 12 of this exact same bottle. It could be, you can mix and match to your heart's content through One Hope. But you can see here's information on the wine, and then you click this little button, here's some wine notes as well. Pretty cool, huh? There's a lot of information available right there on your event page. There's also the other great place to go when you're starting is the Help Center. This will literally be your best friend. This is your BFF. It's even a better BFF than I will be for your wine business. So this is open 24/7. I'm not. So, and neither is your other upline mentor or anybody else on your team. So lean into this as well. This is broken down into some great categories when you're starting, and they update this as often as they possibly can. My favorite place to go and a favorite tool for you is to go into the index and then the index of resources. Just go up here and bookmark this page. And this will tell you exactly what you need to know every month. So every month this is updated. So it'll have your CE incentives, your vacation tracker, Crush, which is our annual conference, which is happening in April in Dallas, month at a glance for March wine list and pricing, March wine portfolio. This is something that you should print out to have handy for yourself, as well as to have handy at a wine tasting. Because at a wine tasting, you're only sampling maybe 6 bottles of wine. And I highly recommend using the wine club as what it is that your host is going to purchase and have available for their guests to try, because that also helps you let people know, like, hey, this is a wine club. Subscribe to our wine club. After 2 shipments, you can cancel with no problem. Wine club, our winemakers wine club is a quarterly subscription. So if they join in March, the next one will be sent in June. So it's every 3 months on the month that they signed up on. And the winemakers selection changes. And these are curated by Mari, who's our winemaker, for the season. So it's really a seasonal wine club. 4 wine clubs a year, not a problem. The wine club will continue to give back to the cause of choice that they selected in the beginning, or they can change it with their upcoming shipment. And the customer receives an email about a week before their wine club is going to ship out. So if they want to switch any bottles out, they can do that. Not a problem. But you can see there's some great selections in here and great discounted pricing. Also on the wine club sheet, it talks about our monthly promotions. So when you add 6 bottles, you unlock this featured trio if you want to add that in for half price. And then it goes through all of the collections and all the wines in each collection. And you can see we have a lot of different wines. We have a lot of different collections. You do not need to know each and every single one of them. That will happen in time. Trust me. Our hospitality wines, these are the ones that are served in restaurants and bars. So if somebody's serving a One Hope wine at a local restaurant near you, you might want to be like, hey, that Cabernet that you're having down at the Applebee's, you can get that through me too and give back 10% to the local Boys and Girls Club, whatever it may be. But this is the featured wine list is great to have. Also, when you are starting, you'll see it'll say new CE. So how do you share the friends and family offer? Here's information on how you do that. Or One Hope, it'll bring you all through this information. Business tools. So when you're starting as a new cause entrepreneur, one of the things that you're going to want to pay attention to is your fast start. Let me figure out where that is on here. See, they switched it around because they're making it easier for us. And I have not been back here for a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Oh yeah, look, see the social media, there's Canva templates, there's wine varietal shareables. So that's awesome. They make a bunch of stuff in Canva for us, which is really good. Lead forms, tracking sheets, wine not list. This is really good to like download and be like, who do I know that would want to host? Who do I think would want to join my team? What are nonprofits that I know in the neighborhood? I also suggest doing a little Google search to figure that out as well. So you can be like, hey, who's around here? Words to say, friends and family offer. Again, this is all downloadable information. So this is the best place to go to get information when you're starting. We also do a lot of different corporate gifting opportunities. So you can customize the shimmer bottles. You can customize the labels. You grab these. You can customize the labels on these bottles. You can customize a shimmer bottle. My help if I show you what it is. People love that too. Real estate agents, anybody that's gifting, anybody that's marketing, birthdays, weddings, parties, anniversaries. It's pretty awesome. Let me see. So here's information on hosting and fundraising events, impact, impact, and then join tools. Under join tools, you'll find your fast start info and tracker. So this is very handy to print out. Sometimes things are worth the ink to print out. And also too, I think as an adult learner, we learn things differently when we see it, when we take notes on it and stuff too, it clicks with us a little bit better. So definitely print this out. But you can see it's all about starting to close some rings and how you close a ring. So all your information's on here. Sales bonuses, if you sell, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, you get some different little fun little exclusive swag, super fun. You get this really cool fun swag too, which I have all of these and they are pretty awesome. I'm just gonna tell you, I love being outfitted by One Hope, although I'm not wearing any of it today, but I do wear it often. And I'm always afraid I'm gonna spill when I have this cream colored one. I probably should have got this other little hoodie instead of this cream colored one, because I was like, oh, what if I spill on it? Because that happens with me. But here's your worksheet too, so you can know where you are, what you're at. It's always good to track. Trackers are good. I love trackers. Additionally, in back here, there's also a mentoring guide. So if you are a mentor, you're bringing someone on, there's social media tools. And then here's all the information you need on wine tools. There's updated winemaker cards, wine tasting event note cards. So this takes you back into, actually, it's the other one, it takes you back into the Google Drive. This will take you into this HubSpot if you have access to it. And if you got a wine kit and you're brand new, this are on little rings in your wine kit that you will be receiving. If you want to look at the winemaker's card, you've been around a while, you're like, where do I find this? Then you go into the Google Drive shareables, and it'll tell you all about the different, the different wines that we have. And there's little PDFs of them. So you can print these out, have these next to the wine at your event, and go from there. So hopefully that gives you a little bit indication of how to get started. There is a lot to learn, but again, focus on fundraising, focus on sharing an impact, because people are more apt to purchase when there's an impact versus just, hey, buy wine from me, right? So we got to always kind of concentrate on that. Second of all, lean into your mentor. Jump on the calls when you can. It's like those who show up, go up. I've been doing this for 8.5 years now. And that's because I do lean into the conference calls. I do lean into the opportunities, the gather to grows. I've earned a lot of the trips. I've, got a lot of the swag, which I think is amazing. And everybody should go for it, regardless of where you are in your business, in your mindset, whatever. Only you will stop you from growing. And we don't want that to happen. So if you need any questions, if you're watching this and you haven't ever joined the wine team and you want to, let me know, because we have a lot of fun. We really do. And follow along. Here, I post a lot of different videos to try to help everybody out. And then follow along on my Instagram too, if you like Wine with Tracy. And if you want to tag me in anything or you have any questions, please feel free. And I hope that this was beneficial, and have a fantastic day. Cheers.